So tell me a little bit about yourself. What problems do you solve in this doggone world and make people's lives better?
How's it going, everybody? I'm Jerome, aka Token Gamer. I got into Bitcoin or found out about Bitcoin in 2011, and like a lot of people, I had one of those I wish stories where it's just like, man, I wish I got invested back then. But I kept watching it go up and down, and got interested in virtual reality as well around 2012, and kept seeing these two technologies accelerate over time, and realized like this trend means that it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. This is the future, and I need to harness and find a need in this space. So I kept trying to just utilize both and try to see what ways I can help other people with utilizing it and not having those I wish stories anymore, and helping them get involved. If I had someone that was there to guide me back in 2011 and 2012, I could have been more heavily involved in the space a lot sooner than later. So I'm here trying to help guide people across the metaverse with how to utilize land, how to utilize these different platforms, what to do on these different platforms, and how you can harness a community with this technology.
Right. Actually, that's so interesting because that's a big problem is there's no guidance in this industry sometimes. It's sort of like lawless when it gets started. And with tech, sometimes if you're just curious, you're like the top of the field. And it's very weird to be on like the cutting edge of like technology sometimes, and it's sometimes a scary place. It's very weird, so it's good to have community. That's the biggest thing we're sort of looking at in Shitcoin here. My biggest question is, I have an idea to pitch you. So I actually want to create 3D models and put them on Metaverse, different platforms. My main thing I was focusing on was vehicles and instruments, so people could do performances or just creating virtual DJ sets. And then people could use those on the Metaverse and do their performances. You could see somebody famous doing their DJ set and remixing music out in Metaverse and doing performances. So I wanted to get into that and start putting stuff out there. Also, down in front. Camera. Thank you.
Love you, buddy.
So what do you think of sort of that idea in selling 3D models? I know it's a difficult sort of business. It makes a little bit of money. But my biggest thing is eventually brand deals in the metaverse will become like a huge thing where people do their physical and digital product releases. What do you think on the idea and the future of that?
I think it's already happening. There's already a lot of people that are utilizing digital cars, digital assets, putting it on the blockchain, selling it to different people, having different influencers, sponsor it or get behind it and stuff like that. So it's happening across the metaverse. I don't think it's a bad idea. It's definitely one that people are going to continue to invest in and want to have their vehicle in the metaverse or something like that. I like to find ones that really have a utility. So a lot of these platforms, it's not like I can drive around in the car, right? Like I just have it just sitting there in the world. If I could be able to have it be, there and one on Decentraland, just sitting in my world or in my garage, quote unquote, right? But then also be able to take it with me to another game and race it.
Forza or something.
You feel me? And be able to do stuff like that. Then I could really be able to get behind buying.
Right.
I don't really care so much for cars. I would more so go for like a motorcycle in VR or, stuff like that. But space is going to keep growing. Yeah, man, there's a lot of different things you can do with this technology.
That's cool. I love your feedback. What's your biggest thing you're looking forward to in the future? I know you're big on metaverse and VR. What do you think on AR, and what do you think is exciting in the future to you?
So the infrastructure right now that's growing that I'm really excited about is cloud gaming specifically. So right now, you can go buy an Xbox or a top-of-the-line gaming PC, but that's such a barrier to entry for so many people. It's not easily accessible for most.
Down in front. Camera.
Hey, buddy. We're on a live recording.
You're good. Tell me more.
So one of the things that I'm really excited about is cloud gaming. There's a lot of different platforms that are out there. People have the Xbox, a PlayStation, or a gaming computer, but it's not as accessible for most people. It's a big barrier to entry. Whereas with cloud gaming, it's kind of like watching a Netflix video or a YouTube video. It's all in the cloud, and everything's already going to the cloud. A lot of games are already majority in the cloud. When you think about multiplayer games, all of the multiplayer assets is in the cloud. Everything's in the cloud other than the game itself is being rendered on your device.
Right.
Rather than with it being in the cloud, the game is rendered in the cloud, the inputs are rendered in the cloud, and just streamed to your device like a YouTube video.
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense here behind you. And then it totally makes sense, too, that there would be such a movement like that. I think personally that in AR, eventually we'll have the Google Glass version where you'll be able to actually look up a restaurant in VR. Like you could literally have walking by and you could see the pop-ups and be like, oh, these are the reviews for the restaurant. This is the menu for the restaurant. You could just look at something and say, Google, tell me what that is. And it uses the data based on your longitude, latitude to figure out that and set that up. You have a thought?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think that cloud, not just gaming, but cloud computing will evolve the AR space. Because, with AR, nobody wants to have these big, clunky, augmented reality headsets on their head, which is why they're not taking off right now. And VR headsets have slimmed down to an extent, but they're still big, heavy, and clunky. Some people can't go more than like 90 minutes in VR, and, it's not slimmed down to the extent that it's going to be popular like the glasses on your head right now. But if you have all of the computing happening on the device, then it's going to take forever to get that slim. Whereas you can now even get it down to that slim right now as if everything's streaming in the cloud. So as we build out 5G, as 6E Wi-Fi networks at home develop, as we get better latency, I think we're going to get to an evolved state where everything's computed in the cloud. Nobody has anything computing on their device anymore. And it's just you use your internet access and then you can pull all the requests that you're looking for. Hey Google, hey Siri, whatever, and stream it to your glasses. Then we could be able to have lightweight, comfortable glasses that we can be able to do all that you're saying with augmented reality, augmented games, going to different stores, finding reviews. The Google Glass vision that just hasn't come yet because they kept trying to process everything directly on the device as opposed to processing it all in the cloud.
Yeah, and then the privacy concern of like, hey, are you videoing me became this huge thing, and so it had to die for a while so people would sort of like forget about it. It's like, no, I'm not recording, like just everybody has this. I mean, if they took the recording feature out of the next Google Glass, it probably would be a little bit better because GoPros are, just a thing.
I don't even think it needs to get to the point where you subtract it. It's just a matter of the society catching up with it, right? As more and more people have cameras in their pockets, and now you got Facebook, Snapchat getting head glasses that are out there and growing in popularity. More companies are adding cameras to their glasses. I think it's going to be a matter of time until Google can bring back Google Glass, new consumer version, and it's not so weird anymore that people have glasses on their head or something.
Right. And in Japan, it is actually required that the camera makes a sound. So even if the sound is fully off, it has to make a sound, and it has to have a red recording button so that people know hey, there's no pervy stuff going on. It's going to be recording. I think that's required for Google Glass so we get over this consumer fear where they don't actually understand what's happening. So if I wanted to start a Web3 business or I wanted to start a crypto business, what would be your advice for me? What is the big thing that you want to impart on people? Is it community? Is it finding groups? Is it finding one mentor? Or is it just being in the community and solving problems?
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixture of all of the above, right? Like I said, the big problem for me that I wanted to solve was helping people not have those I wish stories and helping guide them along the way. If I can help in any way, shape, or form to, evolve their path in learning about this technology without them, getting, just overwhelmed and turned off by the entire industry, whatever ways I can be able to help people, I do so. So, there's that. But then, if you're starting a new business, you're getting into the space, you definitely need to have a community. Community is a big thing, especially in this community. You can see like it's something to have a bunch of people that are interested in a niche. That niche at first was just Bitcoin, and it's kind of evolved into so many different things from there. NFTs, within NFTs, there's so many different niches now. Play to earn, PFPs, all of these different niches spawn out of one niche, and it kind of grows into this umbrella that just keeps evolving this entire community. So, start with one niche, find what's passionate to you and what you want to help people with, and grow a community around that, and keep doubling down and find out what's needed in that space, and then build it and grow your network from there.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. I feel like I already learned a lot talking to you, and it's good interviewing you. I am super stoked, and it was super cool meeting you because we had like a dance party last night. And could you tell me a little bit about more of your own self-promotion, do a self-plug, and where people can find you?
Yeah, so last night, shout out to Purple Bodega, great spot that we went to. I'll be doing VR game nights there on April 15th. We'll be starting it up, gonna most likely do it every other Friday. I'm actually gonna create a metaverse component to it, so if you can't join us here in Miami, you can be able to join us from my Telegram group, t.me/blockchainuniverse. I spell universe UNIVRSE. Come on, jump in the Telegram group chat. We're going to do a scavenger hunt across all of the different metaverses. I'm going to have a friend in Super World, a friend in VR chat, a friend in Altspace, a friend in Facebook's Horizon, somebody in Decentraland, somebody in Sandbox, somebody in Somnium Space, Crypto Voxels, and you're going to have to bounce from each of the different platforms trying to get all of the different things that you need for the scavenger hunt. So come join us, whether you're at home or whether you're in the real world. I'm actually even thinking about, at the same venue, having like AR components. So you have to work together as a team with someone that's here and with someone that's at home on their computer.
Wow, that makes so much sense. That's a beautiful idea too. I love that.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure hanging out with you. And
I didn't give the self-plug.
yeah, go ahead, self-plug.
So yeah, you can find me personally on Instagram, JROME128. Other than that, I'm on all social media platforms with my group, Blockchain Universe, posting pictures and all the events that we do in virtual reality. Come on and come join us. 24/7 gamifying virtual worlds to learn, build, and play together. Hope to see you guys there.